Good evening and thank you for joining us on the War Diary. On the 398th day of the war, these are the main highlights of the day at 7 p.m. Beirut time. We begin with the situation in Lebanon. An Israeli strike targeted a vehicle on the Beirut-Damascus highway for the fourth time this morning. This latest strike took place in a residential area of Araya Jamhur region, killing one woman and wounding two others. In South Lebanon, the Israeli army raided Saida for the first time early Thursday afternoon, targeting a car near the army roadblock at the beginning of the Awali River at the entrance to the city. 3 people were killed and 8 injured, including 3 army soldiers stationed at the roadblock and 5 UNIFIL peacekeepers whose vehicle was passing on the same road when the raid occurred. Following this, UNIFIL command reminded all parties of their obligation to avoid actions that endanger peacekeepers or civilians, stating that disagreements must be resolved at the negotiating table and not through violence. In Tibnin, an Israeli strike targeted the area around the government hospital, causing extensive damage. In addition, the Israeli army targeted the olive groves and agricultural fields in and around Mais al-Jabal with cluster bombs, the use of which is subject to worldwide restrictions. During the night, violent clashes were observed between Hezbollah and the Israeli army on the border between Lebanon and Israel, notably on the outskirts of Firmesh and Yarun. Machine gun fighting was also reported on the outskirts of Ait al-Shab as Israeli soldiers attempted to infiltrate Lebanese territory. Israeli strikes continued in various localities in southern Lebanon, including Tyre, Rumesh, Nabatik, Farriman, Kafra, Jibshit, Naura, and Khirbet Slim. In addition, Israeli strikes targeted Sohmor and Al Harfouch in the Bekaa, and 1 casualty was reported in the latter locality. These strikes come after a violent night in Beirut's southern suburbs, during which Israeli raids targeted Har Tahrik, Burj al-Barajne, Tahwitat al-Ghadir, and Al-Uza'i. Even though one of these strikes targeted the outskirts of Beirut International Airport and several offices were damaged, notably those near Runway 17, Lebanon's caretaker Minister of Public Works Ali Hami reassured the public on Thursday morning that the airport was operating normally. For its part, Hezbollah announced that it had targeted Israeli forces in Maroun al-Ras for the 6th time on Wednesday evening. It also declared that it had targeted gatherings of Israeli soldiers at the Fatima Gate in southern Lebanon, the Stella Mars naval base north of Haifa, as well as in the settlements of Hanita, Liman, Sa'ar, and Krayot. For its part, the Israeli army announced the death of 5 soldiers in fighting in southern Lebanon. It also claimed to have killed 60 Hezbollah members in Lebanon in the last 24 hours, adding that its air force had targeted over 110 Hezbollah targets in Lebanon and Hamas targets in the Gaza Strip in the last 24 hours. Additionally, Israeli Channel 12 reported that a building in Haifa had been hit by the latest salvo of rockets launched from Lebanon. In Gaza, Palestinians continued their search for survivors, clearing the rubble after a strike targeted a building in central Gaza's Nusayrat. Additionally, citizens in Gaza City took to the streets protesting high living costs. This comes as the war-wrecked Palestinian territory continues to face a humanitarian crisis amid the ongoing war. The human toll since the start of the war at 7 p.m. Beirut time. The Lebanese Ministry of Health reported that 3,102 were killed and 13,819 injured due to Israeli attacks on the country since October 8, 2023. On the Gaza side, the Enclave's Ministry of Health has reported that at least 43,469 Palestinians have been killed since October 7. On the diplomatic front, French Foreign Minister Jean-Noël Barrot visited Israel on Thursday. Speaking from Jerusalem, he said he saw prospects for ending Israel's wars in Gaza and Lebanon. Barrot hoped a diplomatic solution would emerge in the coming weeks. On his part, the Iranian Supreme Leader Ali Khamenei stated that the war would continue. During a meeting with members of Iran's Assembly of Experts, he declared that the ongoing jihad in Lebanon and Gaza will inevitably lead to victory. That's it for today's recap. See you tomorrow for another roundup of the situation. Until then, stay connected on our website www.thisisbeirut.com.lb and on all our social media platforms.